कीर्तन किया
ज्यादा नहीं हुआ है। कृष्ण राधा कृष्ण का जन्मदिन किया नहीं।
जन्म सफलता कृष्ण दर्शन का भाग्य हो गया। कीर्तन याद है कि नहीं?
किताब तो है।
किताब है
मेरा पता नहीं कौन है।
जन्म सफलता कृष्ण जन्म
जन्म सफलतार कृष्ण भाग्य होई अच्छे एक बार जन्म सफलतार कृष्ण भाग्य है अच्छे एक बार भाग्य है अच्छे एक बार भाग्य है
any devotee here would like to glorify Srila Prabhupada? Sita, Kamala? Anyone?
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद महाराज की जय। तदीय आविर्भाव तिथि की जय। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोविंद स्वामी निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण राधिकाय प्रियतमने श्रीमद् भक्ति वेदांत नारायण निति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यः पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. So today, Srila Prabhupada Avirbhav Tithi and Nanda Maharaj Nandoschav. So big day for us, especially today, Srila Prabhupada Day, and we should. Maharaj saying we should, I just thought one word at least for Srila Prabhupada, for Bhaktivedanta Nami Maharaj saying this morning, I just will cry. Without Prabhupada, maybe we are in India, you are in your house, nobody should be here. Even not only West, in India also, everybody, they very grateful, very to Srila Prabhupada. I was looking, even our Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, every morning he reading one Prabhupada verse, one shloka. So every house, all our big minister, they all accept Srila Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. Even in Russia, they ban. They saying such things in Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita. They allow all our India, so many authors, they writing Bhagavad Gita. Nobody changing. But when they reading Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita, they all stopping eating things and for the following code principle, they running to India. In Russia, they are afraid. All in ISKCON is 60% Russian. So they ban Prabhupada Bhagavad Gita not allowed in Russia. So how powerful. No, and now they again by Krishna's mercy. So Srila Prabhupada, he always, I just tell one story my life. We can Maharaj saying glorify, but now Nanda Maharaj, we should be happy, our Krishna. So I just tell one thing, always, we also came to Prabhupada books. You all know about Muni Maharaj, our Srila Maharaj disciple, my god brother, took sannyas. I grew up in his house. His brother is my friend, my first Padasmaka Guru. So, in my college, we doing our exercise, bodybuilding. He is our master. He is our teacher. I was such bad person in my village, Gunda. So what happened? His Gaurahari, Muni Maharaj's brother, he made some our Gunda devotee. And they, our group, Gunda group, they thinking, oh, look, they have big body, so we go there and we have also we bodybuilder. Then we can fight more. That's why they gone there. Slowly, they took Mahaprasad. They become chanting, and they stop beating, fighting. I was so angry. What is giving medicine? All our party was slowly going there. So once I went to beat him. So I tell him, hey, you stop this Hare Krishna. This, okay, you do your things. Don't disturb my group. If they will come here, I'll burn your house. They have a, I call wood cutting, making the board things, mill. So they were practicing there. He really is very humble, very after. That family fully transcendental. I just telling Krishna Prabhu this morning about their family. So then he stopped, but Prabhupada such person, he bringing us by hook, he pulling. I thought, oh, he not told me anything. He's so big, he can beat me. Yeah, big muscle. He's our district top bodybuilder. He can beat me in one. I was skinny, but he's so humble. He's saying, okay, I'll try my best. Sorry, I'll not tell them anything. So sorry. All night I'm thinking, how he not made me any. I want to beat him and he humble. So I think I can do also exercise. I can make muscle. And he respecting me, maybe he will allow me his gym. Anyhow, I went there. Next day I told, can I do exercise in your club? He said, yeah, you come please. So slowly I saw every morning they singing Sansara Dava. First Mangalarti, then exercise starts. So they doing, I not going that place. I doing my exercise, I just hearing. Then after he bringing some peanuts, they sucking night time on water, morning they all very. So he giving me something, saying this is the best. You take. I take him. I don't know, even sometime I took out the tulsi leaves, I just eat them. So once this tulsi leaves, he kicked me out. He saying, sorry, you're making offense to tulsi. First you eat tulsi, then after that things. Then he saying, okay, sorry, you don't come again. I was so angry. I throw the things. I said, okay, I'm not coming. I gone back. My mom, she's so happy. I going there doing exercise. But my mom said, my three sisters, they said, please go there. He will be a nice person. I said, no, how possible he can tell me like that? Night time, Srila Prabhupada, fully, I cannot sleep also. I'm missing him. They're so nice people. Srila Prabhupada, night time, please not dream even. Prabhupada, you upset with me? You upset with Govardhan? Please, go tomorrow. I don't know why he's telling me. He is really not going to the temple room. Taking Mahaprasad only I know they are Prabhupada follower. So Prabhupada telling, please go. I tell him, no, he kicked me out. He said, no, he waiting, you will go. Early morning I went there. He just standing outside. He telling, oh, I'm waiting you. Prabhupada told me last night, you coming. I just cried. How Prabhupada, bringing us. It is not surprise for you all. We all have big things, Prabhupada. So he loved us so much. This morning, Nemi Maharaj was explaining 70-year-old people, old man in India, especially 70 means finish. Time to walk. Coming with sick, time of heart attack, America, how difficult. So, Srila Prabhupada is our first everything. And he's saying, my Guru Maharaj, today also Srila Maharaj, Gurudev, he loves so much. He's saying, ISKCON, they're making 108 variety cooking. Today they offer. I remember Guruji told there, we make 208. More variety they made with Srila Prabhupada. And and I remember in Germany festival, Guru Maharaj saying, I am afraid to see in the airport. I just came back from Africa. How possible? Even I am afraid to see them, African people, and they were singing, dancing, and this is all my Sikya Guru, Swami Maharaj's power. He just gave everything. I just giving you, just working you. So good they have relation, and we are very fortunate to Srila Prabhupada. Without him, actually now, many of us will not. Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai.
Sita Kamala. You don't have to speak together, you can speak separately.
Krishna Padaya, Krishna Pristaya Bhutale, Srimati Radhika Anchakapatravascha Kripa Sindhuke Vacha Aditanam Pavaribhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. So today in the morning we had very peaceful Gazan from Sripati Maharaj, Prabhupada Maharaj, about the glories of Srila Prabhupada in the West and in India. His glories are everywhere. So anyone in the nature of the Mahabharata Vaishnavas is that throughout their life, everywhere they go, from the place where they're born to everywhere they go, that place becomes a very important and holy place because they perform their lila there. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, oh Gopinath, what kind of mercy do you have? To me kripa paravar. Jivira Kalane Asya Prapancha Lila Koile Surisara. For the deliverance of the jivas, you come here. You come here for no other reason. To perform your pastimes, this is your own desire, but by your pastimes, everyone becomes purified. Like we heard yesterday from Maharaj, Anugrahaya Bhaktanam, Manusam Dehamastita. So, the hearts of all that witness those leelas, especially the hearts of those who hear those leelas, become the reservoir of those leelas if they hear that from a realized person. So I believe that this is not different when it comes to the servants of the Lord, who are not different to him. And they're so dear to the Lord, it says, Shuddha Bhakta Shri, that they're so pure and dear to the Lord that they're not different to him. Not because that's the actual reason. It makes them non-different because of their relationship. So today we are celebrating the appearance of that one of these very great personalities in the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, the line of this Rupanavadhara, those acharyas, they bring this Guru, Mahabharata Gurus, they bring the line of Srila Rupa Goswami into this world. Srila Rupa Goswami, he was instructed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to manifest his desire into this world. Whatever he wanted to distribute and establish here was put in the hands of Srila Rupa Goswami for him to do. So all of these great personalities, they come in this line. In the same way, they're not different from Srila Rupa Goswami because they're empowered and they're endowed with responsibility to establish the very same thing. So this is what makes them glorious. Because when we see, like Maharaj was speaking today, in fact, my mom, she told me that when she first came to Gurudev, and she went, which is the experience of many disciples of Srila Prabhupada, when they went back to the books of Srila Prabhupada, everything that they were hearing, they seemed to be so different to them because they never heard it before. They thought it was there in the books. It was like Srila Gurudev was showing them the book again and how everything was written in those books. So this is how this mission is one mission. And the acharyas, they don't only complement each other, but they're on the same mission. They might come at different times, they might come in different bodies, but Gurudev used to say that the bottle is different, but the wine is the same. So because that conception is the same. So and Gurudev was very, very he went everywhere to establish that, to establish how this mission is one mission and the conception is one conception. And that conception needs to be realized like this, when someone realizes and develops relationship with the whole line. So taking out one acharya like Maharaj said today, then you miss out on his identity and purpose. And external nature and intrinsic nature is. So we have so much, we're so fortunate, because how much we hear from the Vaishnavas, how much we hear from Srila Gurudev, we hear from Srila Gurudev about the nature of Srila Prabhupada's mission, his internal nature. Some of us could not see I mean, I've seen videos, I've read some biographies, and I was just by reading biographies of how the disciples of Srila Prabhupada served him, is only that is already amazing to see that, to see their dedication. That they did not care. They had this mood that Gurudev demanded from his disciples to do or die. That he did not accept anything less, although we offered him less all the time. We continue to offer him less. He expanded his that, but he's very kind. So he gives shelter to all. But I remember reading, when I went to India one time by myself, I had to stay there for 2 months, so I had no one to talk to. So I read a lot. So I was doing seva, and I go back to my room and read. And for some reason, I read a lot of biographies written by other disciples of Srila Prabhupada that I didn't know, his servants and different devotees like that. I only ever heard from Srila Gurudev. So when I went to those books, which in a way, they're very interesting because it's a different point of view, it's a different concept, well, there's a different vision from people that were like, they felt like me. They saw what maybe I'd see. But that was very special, it was very sweet, because I was acquainted with what Srila Gurudev said about Srila Prabhupada. So that very great personality was like this, and he did this, and he went, his first program in the, how do you call that thing, the loft, flat that he had, he cooked himself, and he cooked this preparation, that preparation, the other preparation, and he served himself. And if they said, no, you give them more. And I was like, wow, he did that. Unbelievable. What he did. How that we hear that the Mahabharata Vaishnavas, they come to a level of madhyam to interact and give mercy to Jivas. But what they do actually, to see them doing that or to hear them doing that, I was completely astonished. And then as I was reading of the whole ISKCON mission when it started in the 60s and 70s, I understood one thing. Because Gurudev used to say that just like the disciples of Prabhupada served him by going in the middle of mountains and oceans and everywhere to preach his Vani, to establish his Vani, I want my disciples to be like that. I always took that as something that was just like, I never took it for real, because I thought it's not possible. Like even like book distribution, anyone who's done book distribution knows that to do 300, 400 books a day is just not realistic nowadays. So I thought, no, my max was 200 in one day, and that's on my record and stays there for my whole life. That was just one day. So that I used to think like that. But when I read this one specific biography that talks a lot about ISKCON in the beginning, and the services and the mission and whatever they did, I understood. I think I understand now. Gurudev is not referring to numbers and that kind of achievements, but he's referring to the mood that they had. They would do anything Prabhupada instructed them. Whether they were rihastas, if Prabhupada told them to go to London and start the preaching there, they would go. They'd never been to London before. They were not English, I know, isn't it? I mean, none
American,
of them.
all American.
3 couples. In fact, one of the couples, and I was reading his biography, he tells how after just a few meetings with Srila Prabhupada, he had a girlfriend, he was going to go to India because he practiced, whatever he practiced, and Prabhupada told him, you should go and preach in San Francisco and start a temple. And he did it. He didn't go to India, him and his girlfriend started a preaching center, and that was the second place that Srila Prabhupada, the ISKCON center was there, they did Rath Yatra there.
Mukunda, yeah.
Isn't it? Yes. So it was very astonishing to see that. And I understood, this is what Gurudev means. That kind of mood. And that kind of mood we can still witness. They're still here. These Vaishnavas, they were directly touched by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, by mantra, by katha, by glance, like we heard today from Maharaj, when he put his chadar for Prabhupada to walk for the last time. That kind of service is astonishing. That they instill that service in the person. This is not our natural nature. They put that in us, and we do that by their power. So that was very astonishing to me. I mean, I grew up in a Krishna conscious movement in ISKCON as a child, just like all this useless kids here playing around, jumping, not doing anything spiritual. Jumping around. But one thing I knew as a kid, Prabhupada. You know Prabhupada. You go to the temple room and Prabhupada was there, sitting every day. You go play your basses and you run outside to play all day. And in my house, I only listened to Prabhupada. Because my mom all the time, Prabhupada, 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 and listened to tape. She couldn't even understand English. And I was like, I couldn't understand why she listened to Prabhupada so much when she couldn't even understand what he was saying. And even asked her one time, I can't remember what she says. But so much dedicated. Even my dad was a bit of a devotee that wasn't quite straight. Even my dad also, so much, the only time I saw my dad crying is when he spoke about when he went to prison doing service to Prabhupada. Never saw him crying before. That much he touched everyone. And that much you touch anyone who comes in contact with him in any way, in any possible way. That presence in him and everywhere. Srila Sutta Goswami says, Jam Prabhu Janta Manupeta and Beta Kirtan, Dwaipai Novira Kataraja. He says, he's resided in the hearts of all. This is his nature. One time, Gurudev says, because it just said, Jayati Jannivasu, Jayati Jannivasu. Shri Krishna, he resides in the hearts of all. Especially, of course, his pure devotees and his Nijajan, but he resides in the hearts of all in the form of Paramatma. So Gurudev said, if Krishna resides in the hearts of all, then Guru is also in the hearts of all because he's serving Krishna. Whatever Krishna is, Guru is also there. So therefore, these Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas, they're present everywhere. They're present in every atom. We just have to make that relationship with them. And I believe that this kind of environment that is created by the mercy of the Vaishnavas is what gives us the strength to do that. Because we don't have that strength when we are by ourselves or in places just that, it's not there. But with them, it is there. So this is the opportunity that I try to take, and I think we'll also do, to take and develop that relationship, which is the only, it says that if we don't have that relationship, then everything is useless, like that. So I feel very, very glad that, again, another year, I can speak about the Gurus of Srila Prabhupada, I can hear about the Gurus of Srila Prabhupada, and he's still very present. Like Brahma Guru says, no one will be around here because that was his mission. His mission was to come and play these places of the West and come and use the culture of the West to get them. Isn't it? He didn't really come and give something completely foreign. No, he used what they had. And using what they had, the nature they had, he got them. He collected all of them. He collected millions of them. Like that. So how kind and merciful they are. So much come through.
Before speaking, I'd like to offer myself that Vrndavana to be able to choose my spiritual master, Nityalila Krishna, Amrita Papa, Mahamsa, Jaja Shokit, Shishma Bhaktivedanta Narayana Samraj, and to entire Rupa and the Guru Varga, especially to the divine lotus feet of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swamaraj Prabhupada. So, for my purification, I'd like to offer something to Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Gosh, sometimes it feels like so much. Don't know where to begin. Should I? Because, ping. Anyway, I think I'll just start by saying it was wonderful to listen to you, Cece, what your experiences. And I was saying moved because I came in through Srila Prabhupada's books, and I met Srila Prabhupada's disciples. I think that this is, the Alankar of Srila Prabhupada's mercy, and so beautiful because they also give that inspiration how to follow. If somebody doesn't know how to listen to their group, they understand, oh, I've got to Harikata. Yeah. But if I'm not hearing, then I will not act. So for me, the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they heard because they acted on what they heard. And they gave, how much percent? They didn't give 20%, 50, 70. I could see they gave 150%. And not just also for a year or two when they got that Utsahar Mai. But I see the disciples of Srila Prabhupada just like giving their whole life. Like, I don't mean to be glorifying Maharaj, but look at his age and still, he's just like banging kirtans, he's like Harinam, he was going to stay in a tent, he's like, I don't know, it's this mood. And I know that the Vaishnavas from India have the same ridiculous mood, but we just expect that from them because they're all transcendental. We just expect it already. But the ones that are Western ones, we kind of relate. We feel like we can relate a little bit. That was my mood. I could somehow think, well, they also went to school and, I smoked, did whatever, had a boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, and then something miraculous happened, that they met one of these divine personalities and they just got full of this transcendental Shakti and then started to do stuff, like, and give their whole, and not just do things, but although I think doing things is a indication that something's coming inside the heart. What you do outside, I think it's an indication of what's touched your heart. If something touches my heart, mundane, TV, or what have you, then I'm going to be acting that way. Yeah. I'm going to be giving priority to my mundane relationships or my mundane desires or whatever, because that's what touched my heart. But these personalities, like Srila Prabhupada, touched my heart through his disciples. They didn't actually meet Srila Prabhupada. But it was Sripad Nemi Maharaj who said one time to us that after you say Jai Gurudev, then you should say Jai Prabhupada. It was actually, he said that.
Gurudev told me.
Ah.
Gurudev told me.
Right.
Not just Gurudev, Prabhupada.
So because that he told us, then we did. That's why we always do that. For many years, it was a long time ago. It was kind because you gave the relationship. He's ours. Somehow it's gone in a little way. They kind of owned him in a way. In that institution, they tried to keep him and bind him, like how a husband bounds his wife to the house. They tried to bind him to ISKCON. But he came here to serve all of us, to come to us. Yesterday, Maharaj was speaking about he was actually establishing the difference between Vasudeva, Krishna, Vrndavana, and Krishna, how Krishna was born in Vraj. So also Vivek was given this relationship and samskar as well. And of course today is Nandoksava, it's not Vasudeva Oksava, it's Nandoksava. And we heard from Gurudev that he gave like everything he had in Vraj. He gave all his cows away, and all Ishmael's jewels, she gave them all away, everything. But they still had more and more and more, because Lakshmi Devi herself will come to sweep Vrndavana, the streets of Vrndavana, so they were full of so much opulence, but they just gave it away again. The next year when Krishna was 1 year old, then they would give those calves that grew up, would give those into cows, then they give those cows away. So it didn't stop giving. That's in the spiritual world, but in the material world, they gave us Srila Prabhupada. And on this day, I don't know, it's really difficult on this day because I kind of feel it. It always cracks me up because this mercy is very compassionate. It touches their heart. And I think that's what motivates it. So if it's just only in the mind, I'm listening to how to tell my mind, and I'm doing everything in my mind, it doesn't really go very far, especially if you haven't got a good mind. But if you let in your heart, then their power can come even to a really insignificant, goal. So I pay my thank you, and especially to the disciples of Prabhupada, or that good far again. Thank you very much for coming. By the way, thank you very much for coming.
Jaya Krishna Krishna Srimati Radhika Swamini Namaste. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Chati Nirvicheshi Srimati Paschati Mamishpadaya Radhikaya Vyapine Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Narayani Nama Mamishpadaya Gauravani Shishimad Bhaktivedanta Vanchakalpa Purushna Vipasana Dhanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasari Gauda Bhakta
Jai Shri
Hare
Krishna.
Hare Rama
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
My humble obeisances, Lord, to seek my beloved Vishnu, nature and Buddhist, Shishima Bhaktivedanta Swami Shri Prabhupada. Lord, seek my beloved Shikshan Sannyas Guru, Rupanugavara Shishima Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj, Guru Deya. Lord, seek my beloved Shiksha Guru Shri Bhaktivedanta Bharti Maharaj. Lord, seek Rupanugavara Guru Varga, of obeisances for those present, headed by Pujapad Shri Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. Hare Krishna. It's so nice this morning to hear Pujapad Maharaj glorifying my Guru Maharaj from that other perspective, what happened in India. Because anyway, to see from different perspectives is wonderful. And just remembering Prabhupada's story, I relate one story. When I was traveling in Russia, I don't remember, it was 2000 or 2001. So I met with one Russian lady, devotee. She was chanting 64 rounds. So she told this story that when she was a very young girl, not very, very young girl, but anyway, young girl in Soviet times. So she had a dream. And in the dream, a voice said, "Your beloved is Indian." That's it. She woke up and said, "Oh, an Indian prince, an Indian prince." So she went, there were, I think it were 2 boys, 2 girls maybe. They went to Moscow. And they were all staying in one room together. Very Russian people that time, very big. So she woke up in the middle of the night, there's a light flying around in the room. She said, "Oh, what's this? I think tomorrow I will meet my beloved." So next day they were out walking, they went out walking in Red Square in Russia, in Moscow. And then on the far side of Red Square, she saw a man in like robes. Oh, I think he's Indian. So she went over, and there's this Indian gentleman in robes, walking by himself. She's looking at him. She's a very, very simple girl. And she said, "Well, what should I do? He's my beloved. Should I hug him? Should I kiss him?" And Prabhupada said, "Sex? No. That's all he said. She was just looking for some time, and then she went back to her friends. She didn't understand a word of English. She said, "What this word?" He said, "Sex." And one of the men, they said, "What? He's talking about sex? That's disgusting." So she went back home, and time to time, Prabhupada was appearing in her home, just like Krishna was describing. And her mother became very agitated, and in the end she asked Prabhupada, "Please stop appearing like this." She didn't know who he was, anything. But he said, "Beloved." So she's living with her mother. Her mother's also a very unusual person. One day the mother lay down on the floor and went, "Oh," left her body. Not like my mom. So living by herself, then one day she had another dream. And in the dream it said, you go down to the marketplace and you buy the first book that you see. So she went down to the marketplace, and there's a little stall there, and there's a book, Жизнь происходит от жизни. Life comes from life. So, oh, okay, this is the first book. And then she turned it over. Oh, my beloved's an author. She's written books. She's famous. Oh. And then she found another book called Sri Ishopanishad. So she bought that book as well. She went back home. And then she found out that she should chant Hare Krishna. So she started chanting Hare Krishna. And then she found out about the devotees. So when I met her, she was older, senior lady already, chanting 64 rounds like that. And she accepted Gurudev as like Shiksha Guru. When I saw Srila Prabhupada first time, I'd been in the movement sometime, a few months, and we were at the manor, and like really wound up, Prabhupada's coming, dancing. And then Prabhupada walked in the room with his disciples, Oh, he's tiny, really tiny, but such a presence, amazing. I fell down off of the basin so I couldn't breathe. I've never experienced anything like that. Most time I actually was able to speak to Prabhupada. I was in Africa. I kind of run away for whatever stupid reason. I went to Kenya thinking I was going to go to Ghana because I'd been in Ghana before I was in Ghana. Anyway, it never happened. But Prabhupada came to Nairobi, and we were walking with him. In the morning, I was a couple of morning walks, and then when his first lady disciple in San Francisco, we happened to be married at that time, and she said he likes it when you ask intelligent questions after class. So once I asked about spiritual desires. What about spiritual desires? He said, why are you asking about spiritual desires when your heart is full of material desires? That was it. Another time, I said, when we're preaching to Christians and Muslims, should we read their scriptures? He said, Christians? Muslims? Then he turns around to Brahmananda, like a big GBC behind me. He said, have I ever said we're preaching to Christians, Muslims? No, Srila Prabhupada. No. Human beings. We're preaching to human beings. Your question's totally on the body of the platform. He came to the manor in 1977. Already his health had deteriorated, drastically. He had an operation, he was walking, very, very weak. So they brought him down to the temple room in palanquin. And they put him beside the Vyasa son. He had his Vyasa Puja was there. They made a birthday cake for him, and I was sitting under the cake. It was like, the cake was about 15 feet long, I think. I don't know how they did it. So devotees had come from all over Europe. Harikesh was there, Bhagavan was there, mad kirtans. The first time he came down in the palanquin, so I don't know if those of you who know the manor, you come out of the temple room, then there's stairs. And then top there's a tiny little landing, and then the stairs go off at right angles up to the next floor, which is where he was staying. So they took him up on the palanquin, all the devotees down in the stairwell at the bottom. And then instead of just going straight off to his landing, they turned him round so that he was sitting in the palanquin and facing down, looking at the devotees. The devotees just totally lost it, completely lost it. And the same thing, I mean, his presence was amazing. I was in America when they installed the deity of Srila Prabhupada in New Vrndavana. So this is after Prabhupada passed away, after he left. So they had the installation ceremony, and then there were, Abhishek for the deity, Murti, let's say, Abhishek for the Murti, and then closed the curtains, washed all the yoga, everything off the Murti, dressed and everything. And then they opened up the curtains. And it was just, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai. And it went on at least 5 minutes. Just on and on and on and on. I was recently at a reunion of Prabhupada disciples. They had a reunion for Prabhupada. It was in conjunction with 50th anniversary of the installation of Radhe Gokulananda. One thing, if you get a chance to watch it, it's an amazing film. Very, very heart-touching film about Prabhupada's arrival in 1973 and how he installed the deities, and how they got the deities, how he installed the deities. It's a beautiful film, a really beautiful film. Anyway, so I was really nervous about going there because I've just had some quite heavy experiences with being rejected for a long time. And I almost didn't go. And then Amita Prabhu, who actually kind of inspired the whole thing, he rang me up. He really, really encouraged me, and I kind of believed. So I went. And it was an amazing atmosphere. I mean, a lot of those devotees, they're all living out, many, many, many of them are living out separate, not in the institution. But so much dedication to Prabhupada, and so much love for each other. So much. And the whole thing, the whole atmosphere was about dedication to service. Deep dedication to service. There was one morning, remembering devotees, like Prabhupada disciples who passed away, and just talking about how they were serving. Now Mohan Prabhu, he was like an odd job man, very skilled odd job man at the manor. Just working for Krishna. And there was another Pujari. He used to sleep in the deity room even. He just totally ate, worked, sleep, walked, everything. It was just deity service, everything. Complete dedication to service. It wasn't just sentimentality. And some of the, they were describing how they would do book distribution. I mean, these people were superhumanly empowered. They had a bubble around them. And if anyone walked into that bubble, they weren't going to get out without a book. And it wasn't like by force. I mean, in some places it was by force. But they weren't talking about that. People like sucked into the bubble, and the book was sucked into the hand, and then they gave the donation and walked off. And they were talking like, one of them, he was like giving like this, and then giving a book to this one, and then giving a book to this one. I mean, insane numbers of books. Insane. So, I know, Srila Gurudev has pointed out, just book distribution, if you don't read the books, or, and sometimes you may make fun of the mood there, but actually, just the simple dedication to service. If we had that dedication to service that the Prabhupada disciples had, and I can't put myself even in that class, despite what. I remember the story about Noel Coward. He was an very famous English writer, quite controversial English writer, very, very witty and cultured. So his friend, I can't remember his friend's name, say George. So George says to Noel, I look at you, you're so talented. You make me very humble. Noel Coward said, yes, you've got a lot to be humble about. I feel that about myself. I do have a lot to be humble about. But if we had that dedication to service that those disciples had, I mean, the three couples who went to England from America, one of them, they had a small girl with them. She was just a few months old. So they decided in America that we want to spread the glories of Krishna consciousness all over the world. So the thing to do, we have to work with the Beatles. They're in America, they decided, okay, we're going to work with the Beatles. And that's what they did. They went to UK, they shaved up, they got themselves the robes and all like that. And then somehow they made contact with George Harrison. One of them, I think it was Shyam Sundar, probably Shyam Sundar, I think. So they finally, somehow they inveigled their way up to the top room, and George came out of a room, and he came straight over the room to them. He said, "Where have you been? I've been waiting for you." And he became such close friends. George became close. Prabhupada loved George. He said, "He's my angel." At the end, when he was preparing to leave his body, he gave his ring. He said, "You give this to George. He's my angel." Beautiful, really, really amazing person. One time, I was at a preaching program. There were 3 or 4 sannyasis there, and I was sitting next to Srimati Maharaj. So I was relating, we had a festival in Alta, Russian devotees. So I was relating that one day I had a dream that Srila Prabhupada is sitting there, and he smiled and turned into Gurudev. I related this dream. And Srimati Maharaj said, "Oh, you had that dream too. I had that dream, not just once." So many of our God brothers and God sisters had the same thing. The Prabhupada turned into Gurudev. I had this experience. I went, because I heard, the Diksha mantras, or second initiation mantras it was, on a tape recorder. And I was chanting them every day, but nothing happened at all. It was just... And then, when I met Srila Gurudev, anyway, I heard from him, obviously, because I was bringing so many devotees to Gurudev, and I was there when he was giving initiations. I was hearing that. But even for the first time I heard from him, I went into his room. It was about the 2nd or 3rd time that I met him. And I said, "What does this mean? The beach mantra, beginning Guru mantra, AIM. He said, "You come tomorrow." I came tomorrow. So I came into the room, and he just gave me Gopal mantra. And after I thought, well, that's nice, but he didn't explain what that beach mantra does. And then not long ago I realized, oh my God, that beach mantra actually activates Guru Tattva. And that's what happened. I just said the mantra. What does this beach mantra mean? No, I'll give you Gopal mantra. So much later, I asked Gurudev, I said, you say we can have many Shiksha Gurus, but only one Diksha Guru. So who gave me Diksha? You gave me Diksha, or my Guru Maharaj gave me Diksha? He said, oh, he gave you. Through me. And I saw our Madhapriya, he related how one day he went to Srila Gurudev. It was either the appearance or disappearance day of his Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Goswami. So Gurudev said, why are you here? Why aren't you with your godbrothers and godsisters? He said, well, I thought I should be here. So Gurudev said, you bring a picture of your Guru Maharaj. So he brought a picture of Srila Bhakti Prabhu Maharaj. And Gurudev held the picture, he said, now worship. And I saw the same thing with Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj. There's one disciple of Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Goswami Maharaj, and it was his appearance, disappearance. So Srila Bharati Maharaj, you bring a picture of your Guru Maharaj. He held the picture, he said, now you worship the picture. Guru Tattva is so deep. It's so deep. We discussed with Srila Gurudev in 2010, after Gaur Purnima, the morning walks at Govardhan, we were asking, like, you know, are we going to be with you? I remember Rohini Nandan Prabhu from Noida, Koroba. Anyway, somewhere in Delhi. Excuse me. Koroba, yeah. So he said, well, are we going to be with you? Are you going to be my Guru Maharaj next lifetime? And Gurudev said, there's no guarantee. And he said, well, I don't want to be with anyone else. And Gurudev said, you can think like that, but you don't understand Guru Tattva. It's so deep, so deep. We'll always be with Sri Guru. And we'll always be fully satisfied. He told us on those walks that I had so much that I wanted to give you, but you weren't ready, you're not ready. So you will have to take birth with our acharyas back and back. I said, what, going back in time? I said, no, in a different universe. So one time I asked him about this, you know, he's saying it's a succession of, somewhere Thakur Bhakti Vinod is preaching now, somewhere Narottam Thakur is preaching now, there's a succession of acharyas. So one day I kind of cornered him and I said, you know, well, what about you? He said, we've not read about this anymore. Then India said, this is out of question. So they're with us, like Sita reminded us that Sutta Goswami prayed to Sutta Goswami, that he's in the hearts of all. And our Gurudev said that I'm closer to you than the air you breathe. So it's up to us to open ourselves to that transcendental presence. My Guru Maharaj, he wrote a letter to Satsaru. He said, the grandfather is more affectionate than the father. So you should always pray to my Guru Maharaj. Take this seriously. Prabhupada is, I think for almost everybody here, spiritual grandfather. For almost everybody.
Even though we've not met him.
Yeah, I never met my paternal grandfather. I never met him. But he's still my grandfather. I mean, Christians, they're with Christ, right? Have they ever met him? ISKCON people are always with Prabhupada. All of them. All of them. They're all with Prabhupada. Prabhupada is like a living presence there. It's up to us. We've grown up, we've been programmed to be alienated. That's the nature of this Western society, dependent on material technology. Material technology is about alienation. The whole so-called scientific method is about alienation from what you're investigating. So we've been indoctrinated and conditioned to be alienated. Alienated from ourselves, alienated from nature, alienated from each other, and alienated from God. So it's up to us. We can reach out to them or not. All of us have been hurt in relationships, right? I think I can safely say. Has anyone not been hurt in relationships? Okay. Not said, right? So we closed off. Because you think, that's love. I'm not going to do that now. I'm not going to open my heart again. I'm going to get burnt, stabbed, betrayed, everything. But that wasn't love. That wasn't love. The heart, Gurudev told one of his early disciples, he said, even worldly love is the breathing in and breathing out of the jiva. The jiva needs to love. So it's up to us whether we live in the presence of these acharyas. Not only Prabhupada, Gurudev, Prabhupada, all of our acharyas. It's like when a child's born in a family. So all the uncles and aunts, grandfathers, grandmothers, they all coming out, coochie, coochie, coo, coochie. Babies are, what's going on? I don't know these people. So it's the same with all our acharyas. Oh, new baby in our family. New one, chanting Hare Krishna. Oh. Like grandma's sitting with a tin of biscuits, right? For the grandchildren. Yeah. Or sweets, or whatever it is. So Guru Prabhupada is also like that. But they're not ordinary biscuits. They're waiting with sweets for us when we actually come to visit them, when we acknowledge them, when we come to visit them. It's our choice whether we open to that, whether we live with them or not. It's our choice, it's your choice, whether you live with Srila Prabhupada or not. He is waiting. He's waiting for us all, he's waiting for you all. Hare Krishna.
Is there a drum?
Yeah,
All day she's very worried about this drama.
huh?
She's very worried about that. I think she's arranging well when she's baby. But I don't know. Oh, they're getting ready. After your class, they can do it. After your class, they can do it.
Yeah.
They're getting ready now, but not ready yet.
Better tell them then. Give them a... Because, you know, in sales, you always make a cut-off point. So you just tell them.
This one? Mine.
Mine is not iPhone.
Guru Chandraya Radhika Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namo Vanchakavadravasya Kripa Sindhu Bhakti Vacham Patitanam Pavanebho Vaishnave Bhuno Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Ubi Sarvika Kanto Radha Kanto Namaste Bhaktavanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavani Vishwanse Devi Pranamami Om Vrindavi Tulasi Devi Priyamani Keshava Sacham Krishna Bhakti Devi Satya
की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय।
First of all, offer my humble respect for the Lord Pranam. Lord Sri Gurupad Pranam, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad. Ashtutara Satsya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta. Srilavan Goswami Maharaj and Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad. Ashtutara Satsya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta. Srilavan Goswami Maharaj. 79th offer my humble respect for the Lord Pranam. Lord Sri Radhika, Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtutara Satsya Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Maharaj, and all senior devotees, and all Varsana devotees, and presently all my respectful guests. And especially I offer my Dandavat Pranam to the feet of Prabhupada Sriram Bhakti Vedanta, Nelu Maharaj, and all senior devotees. Today is very super excellent auspicious day. You also have morning Puna and the glorification of Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtotara Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj and his life history and his contribution. And also today, Nanda and Maharaj son Krishna Janma and Utsav. And very nice, beautiful visual India, everywhere. And all Gaudiya mission is also celebrating this festival, morning to evening, and glorify about Krishna, and also distributing many preparation, prasad. And so just I remember when I was in Mathura, and from morning to evening, and 1,000 people come and taking prasad. And Utsav, very nice, beautiful festival. Because Nanda Maharaj is very generous. And in morning I also told Nanda ke Ananda Bharu Jai Kanaya Lal ki Hati Dilo Radilo Har Dilo Pahal. Nanda Maharaj gave so much donation and charity to Vrajavasis. And Nanda Mahotsav. And Vrajavasis, they completely intoxicated with Krishna. And so this is called Nanda and Nanda Mahotsav. Here we go, Nandagaon and Varsana. So nice, beautiful festival is going on. Krishna, he is not only the son of Nanda Maharaj. And all Vrajavasis, they are thinking Krishna also is our son. If you go Varsana, birthplace of Srimati Radhika, all the residents of Varsana, they are thinking Srimati Radhika, she is not only the daughter of Vrishwabhanu, also they are thinking. And Srimati Radhika, she is also our daughter. How they are love and affection with you. And Gurudev once told very nice, beautiful katha. And one person, he was plowing his land. And his land, Varsana to Nandagaon, big land. And they say, So when he was plowing the land, and then he coming in Nandagaon, because his land Varsana to Nandagaon. And that time, that day was very hot day, And when he came in this, when he crossed the Nandagaon, Varsana to Nandagaon, and then he fainted. That's so what is called coaches,
Scorching heat.
and he almost fainted. Then the people of Nandagaon, they giving water, but he said, no, I will not drink water from Nandagaon. But why not? And that man, that farmer, and he belongs to Varsana. Because he is thinking, if my daughter, she married in Nandagaon. This is according to the Vedic culture also. And if your daughter are married with that, they are not drinking water from there. Because they are thinking already I gave donate, that is Sanskrit word, that is called Kanada. Kanada is I donate my daughter. So how possible I take water from
her house?
And so that means that person, Varsana, was born in Varsana, is thinking my daughter now married in Nandagaon. So how possible to take water from her? Then he studied. How they are love and affection. And Nandagaon and all the residents of Varsana, and they are thinking, Srimati Radhika, she is also our daughter. Or all the residents of Nandagaon, they are thinking, Krishna is our son. This is their mood. And how their love and affection. And that's I tell you one real perfect story not love is happened. There was one businessman in Varsana. And he has 3 sons. How many? 3. They are very learned and scholar. And then after a few years, and then his 3 sons also married, and daughter-son. Daughter-in-law come in his house. There are 3 daughter-in-laws. They are very nice, very polite, give respect their father-in-law. But this businessman, his wife left him. So now this businessman is a little bit upset. Only he has 3 sons and 3 daughters. And one day he was sitting and thinking, and my wife left body, now I am still alone. But my 3 sons, they are always busy to their job. They are going out from their house, morning to evening again, night time coming back. And inside only 3 daughters. But according to Vedic culture, and father-in-law always not talking with daughters. Sometimes he did. And their 3 daughters-in-laws, they are also little bit shy also. They are not always talking with their father-in-law. So that businessman, he is little bit upset. Then he cannot to talk anybody, just he used to go in his and soap, and return back and taking prasad and even taking rest. One day his mind will start. He's thinking, if I had one daughter, maybe I will talk with my daughter. Maybe my daughter will marry, then I will go there. Hey, her and husband, how will he? Just as I spend my time. And thinking this. His mind will disturb. Then one day, that businessman, and it is called, some people are a Vrajavasi said. And what is it? Said. Everybody call him Saidji. So now Saidji, he was little bit upset and sitting. One day, one sadhu came. When sadhu came, he asked to sadhu, and I have only 3 sons, but no daughters. And my sons, and they are working, and every day early in the morning, they used to go to the job and coming back. In my house, only 3 daughters. I cannot talk. Just every day I am going to my shop and return back. As I mechanical, coming, going. I cannot talk. That time that sadhu he told, why you are thinking about it? Then, but I have no daughter. You are Vrajavasi, and especially you are the residents of Varsana. Already I told all the residents of Varsana, they are thinking, Srimati Radhika, she also is our daughter. We think this way. Srimati Radhika, she is your daughter. Then Sadhu also gave a very nice, big, beautiful picture of Srimati Radhika. Then Saidji, remember, Saidji is the business. Saidji, every day when he used to go take rest, sleep, and then also very nicely, nice man, that small picture, as like his daughter. And when Saidji used to go to sleep, just close his eyes, and then Srimati Radhika also comes in his dream. Continuous. And Saidji is very happy now. Saidji is thinking, oh, it's the mercy of. And whole night, and this dream is coming. For this Vrajavasis, they are singing this song. Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole. Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole. Aao mein paiya baje cham 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 dole. Aao mein paiya baje cham 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 dole. Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole. Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole. मैंने पासे पूछी लाली कहाँ तेरो नाम very nice, beautiful, jolly farm. And in his dream, every night. Now Saidji is very happy. And thinking, oh, Srimati Radhika, she is my daughter. And in this way, few months passed. And Braj, many kinds of their, what is it called? Utsav, festival. One festival, Braj, that festival, that are mostly young girls or married or unmarried. Everybody, they also go taking what is called bangles. Bangles? This is the Vrajavasi is there. If you see the Vrajavasi, how do you know he is Vrajavasi?
Too many bangles.
Actually, this is the symptom of Vrajavasi. How do you know he is Vrajavasi? And Srimad Bhagavatam gives evidence. When Uddhav came, then Uddhav he saw. They found the Vrajavasis, they milking the cow. What will be the bangles? What is called? Ringing. So now coming in this way, then, so one festival in Vraj, they also putting the bangles and Choti. And Vrajavasi, they are singing this song also. And you know this song. Vraj mein soor machaya Shyam चूड़ी बेचने आया ब्रिज में शोर मचाया. Maybe you know, right? He sang very nice. He traveled with me many places. New Zealand, maybe. ब्रज में शोर मचाया श्याम की चूड़ी बेचने आया
मनिहारी प्रवेश बनाया मनिहारी प्रवेश बनाया श्याम
चूड़ी बेचने आया. He also Vrajavasi.
The meaning of this line.
Yeah?
The meaning of this line. Sam, Sham.
Sam actually wants Srimati Radhika city man. Then Krishna came in Vraj, disguised the form of bangles. Bangles. So saying this song also. And
Sham came to Vraj.
Sam came in Vraj, disguised the form of
Bangles.
Bangles.
And he created.
So now coming this way, actually this is the tradition in Vraj. So 3 daughters-in-law, they asked their father-in-law, "For today is very nice, beautiful festival. So we have to put that bangle." Then Serji, remember, Serji means business. He told, "Okay, now I am going to my shop. On the way, the bangle seller is there. So maybe I told him he will come and he will give the bangles." So in the midday, the bangle seller came. That means he told, "Hey, you have to come in midday and put the bangles in my daughter's hand." The bangle seller came. And then one by one, daughter-in-law, they also put their hand. Understand? And you know, this is tradition. They also cover their head with the veil. Okay. So one by one, 3 daughter-in-law put their hand and then what you want, just to indicate. Okay. This song also sing. Song also singing this. I will take this one, this one. So now coming in this way. The 3 daughters-in-law put the bangles. When they were, then one young girl, very nice, beautiful girl, laughing, and she also
Stretched
down her hand. Then Bengal sir thinking must be this girl belongs to his house. And now evening time, Bengal Salah came in the shop of the Sethji and give my money. And then Sethji asked, "How much do you want?" This is the calculation. And so 4 ladies and they took the bangles for this month. Then Serji told, in my house, not 4 ladies, only my 3 daughters. Why you are saying the 4? Who are they?
Who's the fourth?
Who is the fourth? No, you are saying, no, another person. Serji told, okay, I will give money and 4th one, but now you take the 3. Yeah, because I have 3 daughters. So you can take this one. And I will go back my home, then I will start who?
Who's the fourth?
With the 4th. And he said, okay, no problem. Then Venkata returned back his home. Then Serji, he returned back his home and after close his shop. And that day Serji, a little bit he tired. So he did not talk with her, with his daughter-in-law. But he noticed in front of his desk, that picture is there, and some bangles are there. Then Serji thinking, must be my daughter-in-law, they put in here, showing to me. That is the Indian Vedic culture. What you do? First you have to show elder person who is the owner of the house. So now coming this Serji, that day was very tired after taking prasad, and Serji, he took rest. But when Serji, he closed his eyes, what today Srimati Radhika did not come
in my dream.
In his dream, not coming. Serji thinking, why is today Srimati Radhika? Every day when I used to go sleep, just lay down on my bed and close my eyes, then automatically Srimati Radhika, they come in my dream. Very nice, beautiful, joy form, and young girl. That the song is Vrajavasi song is Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, paao mein paaliya baje cham chama cham bole. Choti se Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, paao mein paaliya baje cham chama cham bole. This is Vrajavasi. You know the meaning or not? That is young girl Srimati Radhika. She just appeared and very nice, beautiful, jolly mood. And dancing singing. So she said, Choti si Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, paao mein paoliya bake chama chama. And very nice, beautiful ankle bells. When Srimati Radhika she is dancing and walking or dancing. Very nice, beautiful, after this long song. So, but now, Serji dream not coming. And Srimati Radhika not coming. Then Serji might be disturbed. Why not come? And Serji again and again tried. Then suddenly any dream comes. Srimati Radhika little bit far. And she did man. She just turned her face other ways and tearful. Then Serji just in his dream, Serji also talked with Srimati Radhika. And hey Radhi, you are my daughter. Every night, every time you are coming in my dream. So like, what happened? Why not come? But she is not speaking. Only crying. Then Serji asked, what happened? Then Srimati Radhika saying this word. This song also very nice. What is it? Beti to banaya, nata nahi bhaya. Beti to banaya, nata nahi bhaya. तीन बहू के याद करी बेटी very pathetic, painful. Srimati Radhika in her anger, man, he is saying, you accept me, your daughter, but you did not and fulfill your duty.
Obligations.
Duty. You forget me. Why? How's love and affection? Why do man? Man understand? Man means transcendental anger, not the material man. In this material community. When man is coming, then love and prem more condensed, that we call sneha. And more sneha, that means affection more condensed, then coming stage of pranay, then coming so much love and affection. So Srimati Radhika now did man. And in her man, she just also told to Sethji, बेटी तो बनाया नता नहीं तीन बहू के याद करी और बेटी याद नहीं. That means Srimati Radhika in her man. Remember, man means transcendental. You accept me as your daughter. But you are not
fulfilling your duties.
Not
Fulfilling
fulfilling your duty. This is your duty. Because you gave money for bangles money for your
three daughters.
three daughters. Three daughters. But my money you should not give. Did not give. And you also forget me. So saying this song, in this song also, Beti to banaya, nata nahi nivaya, teen bahu ke yaad kari, beti yaad nahi. A nice song. Srimati Radhika, in her manadasha, having chastised to Sethji. Then Sethji says, no, I did not forget it. Then again she told, why did not pay my bangles money to bangle seller? Then Sethji, oh, is it true? Now I realize. Then just everything is what? This conversation going where?
In the dream.
In his dream. Understand? In his dream, just this conversation going on. Then Sethji suddenly wakes up. Then Sethji very quickly took bath and he came in the house of Bengal Seller and knocked the door. Hey Bengal Seller, please take this money. For what money? For my daughters?
Bangles.
Very good daughters? Yes. Actually, that young girl. Understand? She is my daughter. Then Bengal Seller, he told, no, I will not take money from your daughters. Now we realize that she is, who is she? Srimati. But Sethji told, if you will not take this money, then Srimati Radhika, she will not happy. She will not give up her. And that Bengal Seller, she told, also she is my daughter. Understand? So I put the Bengal. What to do? But Sethji told no. And Srimati Radhika is my daughter. You have to. And then anyhow, then Sethji, he gave money to Bengal. And then when he returned back his home, then they saw in front of the picture before he saw here. Very Bengals. Now they are Bengal. Then next, also now, again Srimati Radhika came and also dancing for this regard. Vrajavasi, they are singing this song. Choti Sri Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, Bao mein Payaliya baje cham chama cham Dole. Choti Sri Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, Bao mein Payaliya baje cham chama cham Dole. Kisori mere Angana mein Dole, Vrajavasi खुशी लाई खाना रोनाए, मैंने वासे खुशी लाई कहा Varsana-vasi, Vrajavasi. They also celebrate Srimati Radhika's Janma. Only you service Krishna Janmashtami. And if you not, and Srimati not remember Srimati Radhika, then your
Krishna will not be pleased.
Krishna Janmotsav will not
Be successful.
And Radha Krishna. Krishna Radha. Jatra Radha Tatra Krishna. Jatra Krishna Tatra. And Vrajavasi, they are not saying Krishna Krishna. What they say?
Radhe,
Radhe.
Radhe,
Radha Rani
Ki Jai.
If you go Vrindavan, then they are not saying Krishna. What they say?
Radhe,
And they saying Radha Mini Samini Mai Radhin Ko Das Janam Janam Muniyo
Vrindavan ko vas.
And one Muslim poet, his name was
Khan.
Ras Khan. He was Muslim, Muhammad. But he wrote very nice, beautiful Braj Raskirtan, very nice, beautiful Braj. And Vrndavana ko chako maram na jane koi Radha Pad mein Radhe Radhe. If you go Vrindavan, what will say the human being? Even the trees, what they are saying? Radhe. So in this song, Vrindavan ko vrich ko maram na jane koi dal dala paat mein Radhe. And all the branches of the tree, all the leaves of the tree. Then what they are saying? Radhe Radhe Radhe.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj ki jai, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Is the drummer coming on or? Yes? Is that a yes? Is it? Chandrika Didi. Beto.
Please.
No. Put it in the... Braj Prabhu. You know that kirtan?
मैंने हरि का वेश बनाया सिर्फ पहला लाइन जानता हूँ बाकी लाइन जानते ही
Vraj Prabhu.
गोविंद बोलो हरि गोपाल बोलो गोविंद बोलो हरि
Absorb your mind and heart in me.
The mic.
This is not a simple thing. For someone to absorb his mind in any activity, then his eyes, ears, nose, and all his senses must be completely centered at this one thing. If the mind cannot concentrate on something, it is more or less uncontrolled. Sometimes we think of material things, sometimes we think of Krishna. This is a conditioned state. But if someone's mind is fully absorbed in the lotus feet of Bhagavan, then this is the highest form of worship. When will this be possible? When will this be possible? In the beginning, we can really begin. In the beginning stage of Shraddha, faith, it is not possible. Then the stage of Ruchi, taste will come, and still it won't be possible. After this, we can really begin to give our heart. In the stage of Ashakti, spiritual attachment, we can give perhaps 1/2 of our heart to Him. Maybe we can give 3/4 of our heart to Him, but only in the stage of praying divine love can we give fully our hearts to Krishna. We understand that giving our hearts to someone is very difficult, but instead, someone takes our heart, then it becomes very easy. Otherwise, we are simply unable to give our hearts. In the Katha Upanishad state that Sri Krishna will select a heart that is dear to Him and then say, "Come, I will take your heart." Even if we really desire to give Him our heart, it is so difficult. But if He desires to take our heart, then it is possible. We must make our heart such that when Krishna sees us, it will inspire greed within Him. The heart must be pure in all ways. If there is any impurity remaining there, He will not take it. But mere purity is also not enough. We must add some special fragrance that Krishna, reaching Krishna's nose, will attract Him. Bhakti Ras should be flowing in the heart. But how does Krishna take the heart?
नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की
Let's go play some more. My son, don't go so far.
Don't worry, I'll be back soon, man.
Everybody at Vrndavana was eager to meet Krishna.
Hi! Where are you going?
Hi! Let's go! In the house, there was a new girl who had just been married 2 or 3 days before. She had heard a long time before how marvelously beautiful Krishna appears when he is taking the cows out to graze. But her new mother-in-law and sister-in-law were sitting outside the door and were especially nasty towards her.
Go back inside. We are going, but you cannot.
There's a dangerous black snake out here, and if it bites you, then you cannot remove the poison.
Where are you going? Fine, I'll go alone. Even everyone in Vrndavana goes to see Krishna. I don't want to be the only one that's not.
When they left, the girl stepped forward and began peering out through the crack of the door. Her position was such that she could see out, but no one could see her. Those eyes which have not had this darshan should be set on fire. Only the eyes which have seen this beautiful scene are successful. Grabbing the tail of the calf, Krishna gave it a twist and the calf ran directly towards the door, as it had been trained for that very purpose. At once Krishna and the calf arrived at the door. He gave his darshan to the girl. Finished. Her very heart came out from her, and he took it and went away. She could only stand there motionless. This is taking a heart, man manabha. She was left standing motionless, and 15 or 20 minutes passed. She was still standing motionless, because without her heart and her mind, she was helpless. They placed a large pot on her head, and on top of that smaller pot, they also gave her a small child. Like this she went, arriving at the well. She made a noose for lowering the pot down into the well. But instead of wrapping the noose around the pot, she put it around the child, as if she was going to lower him in the well.
What are you doing? The baby! She has a ghost. Krishna!
hearts to their children and family. They leave everyone crying for them, and like refugees come to Vrndavana and cry exclusively for Krishna. Even very fine sons and daughters of kings come to Vrndavana, give their hearts to Krishna and engage in bhajan. Krishna told Arjuna, "This is Man Manabhav. Absorb your mind and heart as in me." As the gopis did.
Very nice, beautiful. This drama you also manifest. Actually, this drama manifestation from the heart of the Lord. When Gurudev gave class about Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and Gurudev also remember this Leela also. This sloka is Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Manmana Bho, Bhagavato, Vrajavasi, Mamishri, Satyam Priyasi, Manmanabu. You will have to completely absorb your mind with Krishna. And if you are not completely absorbed with Krishna, you will not attend to Krishna. And sometimes the same story, sometimes also. And we have another way of doing it. And Rupa Goswami Pad, in his one, one commentary also explained. And the one young girl, she was born in Hastinapur. And Hastinapur means? Delhi. And then she married in Vrndavana. And the house is powerful, dust of Vrndavana. She heard about Krishna, but she did not see Krishna. How is beautiful Krishna? And so after his marriage, when she came to Vrndavana, and early in the morning, just she heard the Krishna now is going to herding the cows. And all Vrajavasis, they also eager to take darshan to Krishna. In Vrndavana, there are many kinds of also festivals. One festival also is called Nayan Utsav. What is it?
Nayan Utsav.
What do you mean there? Taking darshan, Krishna. Govinda darshan. Govinam Natpulatatana. Gopi Sangha Puta. When Krishna used to go herding the cows, then all the Vrajavasis, they were eager to take darshan to Govinda. And only want to take darshan to Govinda. For these Vrajavasis, they are singing one song also, Hindi song. Aagi lage usi aankhon mein जिस दिन गोविंद दर्शन ना पावे. If we not take darshan to Govinda, what is the meaning of the eyes? Then my eyes should be burned in fire. Vrajavasi, they are singing this song. Aagi lage usi baasan mein. All the bamboos of Vrndavana have to burn to ashes. Why? Because Krishna is disturbed to us. Why? Because if Krishna paid the fruit, then we cannot sleep. And for this regard, Vrajavasi, definitely they also sing this song. Aagi lage usi baasan mein. And all the bamboos of Vrndavana have to burn. And because we cannot stay. And actually, this is the one. Krishna, he played the flute, and but this regard young girls, they cannot stay in their house. How they powerful the sound of the flute. So now coming in this way, and so now this young girl, after her married, when she came in Vrndavana, this is the first time she heard. And now Krishna is going to her in the cows. All the Vrajavasis, they came out from their house. All they want to take darshan. But according to the Vedic culture, if you are newly married, then you cannot come. You have to stay inside. So her mother-in-law, she told, hey, you should not go out from our house, stay. And she went out from her house, and then Krishna come. First dust coming, then cows, and then Suvarna Sridham, then Baladev Prabhu, then Krishna. Very beautiful. And when she first time when she saw our beautiful form of Govinda, then she completely was stunned. I don't know who did this lila. Huh? Huh? Lavanga. Okay, thank you. Completely still. And then when Krishna passed by, then her mother-in-law entered in her. Then suddenly the door opened. Then she said, where is my daughter-in-law? Their daughter-in-law outside. And said, hey, what do you do this? But she did not speak anything. And pushing. And he called. Then she told, I told you, don't come out from the house. Because this is not son of Nanda. Nanda ke putra. This is not the son of Nanda Maharaj. This is the ghost of Nanda. And there's a Hindi part. Nanda ke putra nahi, Nanda ke bhoot. Bhoot, understand? Ghost. If ghost possesses the body, and you cannot do anything. It's in the same way. And then she, mother-in-law, she told, okay, now she came. Okay, now we chant the Yoga. But she chant the master seed, or master seed completely was scattered. Then after speaking, mother-in-law said, I told you, chant the Yoga. But you chant the master seed. Or your mind is done. Because now both ghosts inside. Possessive body. So now we also praise your mind. So to bring water from the well. And or house you go and another son. And boy, baby. That's very nice. And then when she pulled the water from the well, or she would whisk the bucket, what is called? Bucket or whisk the baby. She pulled the rope of the baby. And baby crying. But she didn't do this. And in the one time, one young girl said, this is not your bucket. This is baby. Right? So actually, this is called manmana, completely absorbed. Vrndavana Vihari Lal ki Jai. Very nice people. They also are very nice people. Gurudev very happy. And Jai Shri Gurudev ki Jai. And Gurudev bless you. All you are absorbed with Krishna now. And especially absorbed with Srimati Radha Rani ki Jai. Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you. Very nice, beautiful Leela. Who is the
actor?
No, who is the
Director.
director? Because every Lila drama will only depend on the director. Who is the director of this? Okay, very nice drama. And others, who is the actors?
Krishna.
Krishna, who is Krishna? Krishna!
Where are you?
Krishna is Balaram.
Balaram is Krishna.
Now Krishna is now Balaram, he appeared in form of Krishna. Then
The cowboy. Tarun Krishna Das and
Krishna Prabhu
and Pavitra San. Pavitra's son. Pundrikaksha's son. Pavitra's son Pundrikaksha.
Nice one. And
Who's the father?
just Jiven Sadhu hai. You are staying in some temple. Every day I learn this one.
He said you'll never forget, Mara.
Comes in his dream now.
Or another?
The grandmother and daughter-in-law. No, sister.
All other players come.
Haribo.
But Choti Shamapriya and Jaja. Janava. Who's that other boy there in front? Huh? Damodar. Which part was that?
Now 10 o'clock.
All the drama players would like to come forward. First we'll give the sweets to the drama players. Come forward. And the director. Also the director. Come forward.
O Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Nanda Lal.
Quickly make some way for them to come forward, please.
Govinda Gopal Nanda Lal. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Nanda Lal. Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal Nanda Lal.
Krishna Govinda Govinda Gopal
Kiva Joyo, Joyo, Gorakhade, Arati, Gosko.